Good morning, all. Now, in this class, we are going to study about the autonomic nervous system. Autonomic nervous system is primarily concerned with the regulation of visceral or vegetative functions of the body. So, it is also called vegetative or involuntary nervous system. There are two divisions of autonomic nervous system are there, both from anatomical and physiological point of view. Anatomical nervous system or autonomic nervous system is divided into two divisions. One is sympathetic division and second one is parasympathetic division. First one is about sympathetic division. Sympathetic division is otherwise called thoracolumbar outflow because the preganglionic neurons are situated in lateral gray horns of 12 thoracic and first two lumbar segments of spinal cord. Fibers arising from here are known as preganglionic fibers. Sympathetic division, it supplies to the smooth muscles of all the visceral organs such as blood vessels, heart, lungs, glands, gastrointestinal organs, etc. Sympathetic ganglia. What do you mean by sympathetic ganglia? Ganglia of sympathetic division are classified into three groups: paravertebral or sympathetic chain ganglia, prevertebral or collateral ganglia, and third one is terminal or peripheral ganglia. First one is about paravertebral or sympathetic chain ganglia. Paravertebral or sympathetic chain ganglia are arranged in a segmental fashion along the anterolateral surface of vertebral column. Ganglia on either side of the spinal cord are connected with each other by longitudinal fibers, so they form the sympathetic chains. Here you can see the sympathetic division here. Various ganglia are connected here in the anterolateral surface of vertebral column, and they are supplying to various visceral organs. Here you can see then prevertebral or collateral ganglia. Prevertebral ganglia are situated in thorax, abdomen and pelvis in relation to aorta and its branches. Prevertebral ganglia are celiac ganglion, superior mesenteric ganglion, inferior mesenteric ganglion. Then third one is terminal or peripheral ganglia. Terminal ganglia are situated within or close to structures innervated by them. Heart, bronchi, pancreas and urinary bladder are innervated by the terminal ganglia. Here you can see the terminal ganglia. The next thing is about the parasympathetic division. Parasympathetic division of autonomic nervous system is also called as the craniosacral outflow because the fibers of this division arise from brain and sacral segments of spinal cord. Now first one is about cranial outflow or cranial portion of parasympathetic division. Cranial outflow or cranial portion of parasympathetic division arises from brainstem. It innervates the blood vessels of head and neck and many thoraco-abdominal visceral organs. Cranial outflow includes the following cranial nerves. It includes oculomotor nerve, facial nerve, glossopharyngeal nerve and vagus nerve. Then the second one is sacral outflow or sacral portion of parasympathetic division. Sacral outflow or sacral portion of parasympathetic division arises from the sacral segments of spinal cord. It innervates smooth muscles forming the walls of viscera and the glands such as large intestine, liver, spleen, kidneys, bladder and genitalia. So here you can see this one is parasympathetic division, which has got thoracolumbar outflow. There is thoracolumbar outflow here in sympathetic division, and here craniosacral outflow. This is from the sacrum they are supplying, and some are coming from directly from the brain, that is brain stem. This is they are coming from the brain stem. Now next thing is about the functions of autonomic nervous system. Autonomic nervous system is concerned with the regulation of functions which are beyond voluntary control. It means it mainly controls involuntary functions. By controlling the various vegetative functions, autonomic nervous system plays an important role in maintaining constant internal environment, that is homeostasis. Almost all the visceral organs are supplied by both sympathetic and parasympathetic divisions of autonomic nervous system, and the two divisions produce antagonistic effects on each other. It means they are acting opposite to each other. If one division is increasing these secretions, another will decrease the secretions. If one is causing contraction, the another one will cause relaxation of muscles. That is the antagonistic action of sympathetic and parasympathetic divisions. When the fibers of one division supplying to an organ is sectioned or affected by lesion, the effects of fibers from other division on the organ becomes more prominent. If one division is affected, then what happens? The lesion, the other division which is there, for example, parasympathetic division is increasing the secretion and sympathetic division is decreasing the secretion. If sympathetic is affected here, sympathetic division is affected, then the parasympathetic division will go on working, and that will cause increased secretion in that particular organ. This is how it is affected. So this is about the autonomic nervous system.